Awesome. So thanks for being on live, Amy Muffick from Helena, Montana. It's Tuesday, September 5th, and I'm super excited about, first of all, August was amazing. So many people hit huge milestones. So I promised a little bit of team recognition, so I'm going to start with that. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Yota Stoffer. I'm a team leader in Spokane, Washington. And Jacqueline is my Wild Tree bestie, and we kind of team up and do trainings together. So if you're tuning in, watching the recording from Jacqueline's team, that's who I am if you're curious. So Amy, well, I kind of introduced you, but do you want to tell us how long you've been doing Wild Tree, or just tell us a quick thing about you?
Sure. I've been doing Wild Tree since October of 2016, so not quite a year. My anniversary is coming up here shortly, and I just fit it in where my crazy life allows.
Yay. We're so glad to have you. And I met Amy because both of our daughters were on the University of Montana dance team together. So awesome that we get to continue our relationship even though our girls are done dancing.
I know.
Saturday was a hard day for them, I think. Okay, so I am going to start with a little bit of team recognition for my team. I know Jacqueline's going to recognize her team separately just because she had a last minute thing come up where she couldn't be on the call today. And then I just want to go through a few monthly reminders of kind of the targets that you want to be sure that you're hitting each month, and then some of those like first 35 or 45 days in your business targets, and just talk about how to have a really strong September. And then maybe that's about it. I think that was on my list. So oh yeah, and just some reminders for those of you who are brand new on how you can just get off to a strong start in your business, some direction on where to go to find the tools that you need. So starting with recognition, I'm really proud of my team. We actually had an organizational volume in August of $22,584, and we had 25 bonus qualified team members on our team, which is huge. I think that's the record actually for my team ever. So yay to you guys. Good job. And then overall, we had 14 new team recruits, team members added to our organization this in August. So that's fantastic. A huge couple of shout outs. Karen Bartles in Missoula, Montana, actually promoted to team leader. She hit her second month team leader numbers in August. And she had a personal volume of 2725 and team volume of 3638. So congratulations to you, Karen. And then Danae Skistad in Ellensburg, Washington, re-promoted to team leader. She just had kind of a busy summer and kind of took a little bit of time off, and then just restarted, and she hit her second month team leader numbers too. So she had personal volume of 2483 and a team volume of 30. Oh, actually this hadn't updated, but it was like 3591 or something was her team volume. Excuse me. And then Jennifer Muldoon is in Spokane, Washington. She's an OB doctor here. She hit her first month team leader numbers. So congratulations, Jennifer. Her personal volume was 1778 and team volume of 3513. So she re-promoted to aspiring team leader this month. And then she had 6 personal recruits on her team. So just a side note, don't prejudge your customers. Just because they're a doctor doesn't mean they might not want a Wild Tree business. So that's really good to keep in mind. And then Maggie Kazemba is one of my team members as well, and she promoted to senior representative. She had 1,038 in personal volume, and she owns a dance studio and does that really full time. So she's super excited to just incorporate the healthy eating tools with her dance team girls there and kind of share that with some of the busy dance moms at her studio as well. So yay to you guys. We had, I was just going to point out, Katie Huff had 1 recruit. Caitlin Shearer had 1 recruit. And then Susan Stramberg, my mom, had 1 recruit. So that's for our 14. Oh, and then I had 5. So that's how all of those add up to 14 recruits, because Jennifer had 6. She really kicked butt with the recruiting last month. So yay, team. Awesome. Team Stoffer. You guys kicked butt. So I'm super proud of you. And like I said, we had 25 bonus qualified team members. So we had tons of people between that $350 and $1,000 marker in their business as well. So I'm going to let my little Shih Tzu in my office because she's scratching at the door. Oh, no. She'll just keep doing that the whole time. Okay, so a few reminders about monthly targets. One is just getting your $350 in by the 10th of the month in order to qualify for $15 in business bucks. What is really exciting about that is that we have our brand new business builder kit and tons of new marketing tools. And we'll be talking a little bit more about that and then have some time for questions too. But it's super exciting. So definitely take advantage of getting those free business bucks. And again, you can do that by hitting 350 by the 10th of the month. And then you actually can earn another $10 in business bucks if you hit $350 in personal volume by the 25th of the month. So those are two kind of little targets that you want to keep in mind. In addition to that, I'm going to clarify, you guys may have received emails about the 35 days and now there's a new 45-day kind of tracking. So I want to clarify clarify that for everybody who might be wondering. If you joined WildTree before September 1st, you're still going to be tracking with the 35 days for your Fast Start bonus that you can earn, or your Fast Start incentive, I guess, that you can earn. Also for your free shipping voucher, that's still going to expire in that first 35 days. But if you sign up starting September 1st on, they've actually extended that to 45 days. So just keep that in mind when your new reps are on, when you're onboarding new reps, or if you are a new rep and joined in September, you actually have 45 days to hit your Fast Start, 45 days to use your free shipping voucher. And in addition to that, we actually, as you know, if you're the person recruiting the new team member, we have 45 days for them to bonus qualify, which means $350 in personal volume to count towards our trip to Panama. So that's kind of nice that they added on that extra 10 days. And that actually is retroactive all the way back to the beginning of the Panama trip earning period. So if you have someone that missed the 35 days, but maybe they bonus qualified at 40, 45 days, they're going to count towards your trip. So keep that in mind if you're trip tracking. So again, the Fast Start, I'm just going to go over really quickly the Fast Start incentives. If you sell $1,000 in your first 35 days, you will earn $100 in free WildTree products of your choice. That's a super great way to just get some things stocked up to have at your dipping bar, at your parties. Maybe have those large size, like economy, you know, taco seasoning, spaghetti seasoning, Alfredo, those higher priced items to maybe have on display at your parties as well. And maybe pick up a workshop kit or two to have on hand. So it's a great opportunity just to get some free products with $1,000 in your first 35 days. The other half of the Fast Start bonus is if you recruit one person into the business in your first 35 days, or 45 days if you signed up after September 1st. So if you have questions on this, just reach out to your upline or your upline leader. But let's pretend you signed up before September. If you recruit one person into the business in your first 35 days, and then they sell $350 in their first, it was 35 days. And now I think that's extended to 45 days for them. You earn another $100 in free product. If you signed up after September 1st, you have 45 days to make that happen instead of 35. So I'm feeling like everybody might be really confused after hearing that. So just reach out to us if you want specifics on what goal you're trying to reach, and we'll help you with what date that means for you. The other thing to keep in mind that's really important is the different promoting levels. So to promote to senior representative, that means you sell $1,000 personal volume in the calendar month. And that bumps you up to 29% commission on your personal sales. So we always are allowed to take that 20% off the top, you know, the discount if people are paying us with cash or checks. So that extra 9% comes back to you in the form of a bonus if you're promoted up to a senior representative level of $1,000 in personal volume. And then the next bump up, or the next promotion, is aspiring team leader. And that's $2,000 in personal or team volume, and you have to have one team member. And that will get you up to 32% commission on your personal sales. So you can either do, hi, whoever joined us. I don't know.
Hi.
Who is it? Who's the?
Hi. It's Stacy Tucker.
Oh, hi. So you must be on Jacqueline's.
Hi. Yes.
Okay. This is Yota. I'm I'm Jacqueline's friend in Spokane, Washington. Have we met? Have you been on the call before?
No, not on your call. I've
Okay.
done Sonara.
Oh, awesome. So anyways, Jacqueline had something last minute come up, so I'm just doing the call today, but thank you for hopping on and joining us. We're glad to have you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so I was just going over, I think where I left off is the next promotion after senior representative is aspiring team leader, and that's when you have either personal volume or team volume of $2,000, and you have one team member on your team. That person doesn't necessarily have to be doing anything. They just have to be considered an active team member. So you can actually do the full $2,000 in sales, or your team member can do $1,000 of it, but you have to have at least 1,000 in your personal volume to count for that, to get the 32% commission on your sales. So those are kind of the little stair steps before you start promoting to team leader. And so that is just some things, kind of some trackers to be mindful of as we get closer to the end of the month. And then obviously the 350 by the 10th of the month is something you want to kind of strive to get in there right away. So that's pretty easy to do if you've got some workshops scheduled sometime in the month. I always try to close them, by the 9th if I have a few days of leeway in there to work with, just to try to make sure I'm getting that first party entered, before the 10th of the month to get those business bucks. So if you have questions on business bucks, free shipping voucher, fast start, or the promotions to senior representative and aspiring team leader, be sure to reach out to your upline and we'll help clarify that for you. So the next thing I want to talk about is just having a strong start in September. And here's the thing is that people make big changes in their life 2 times of the year as a general rule, and that's in September and January. I feel like we all are kind of like in September, school starts, it's kind of like a fresh sheet of paper. Like, okay, so I threw my budget out the window. I threw my diet out the other window. Like everything's all over the place for summer vacation. So now I'm going to kind of get back on track and with whatever that might be that people have, for goals. Obviously January is New Year's resolutions and everything, but September is kind of the same thing. And I never really thought about it until my upline leader, our upline director, Mandy, had mentioned it once. But it sort of makes sense because your kids, if you have kids in school, they're back on a schedule. So it seems to be just a little bit easier to kind of put yourself back on a schedule and get back on track. So with that being said, it's a really good opportunity to recruit people because sometimes people are thinking, well, first of all, their kids just went to school or possibly college, which is a huge expense. Yeah, that's why I do Wild Tree. Or that's why I started it anyways. And so they may need extra money because you're getting it's so expensive. You pay for ASB and yearbook and then their sports outfits for soccer or their dance things and this and that and shoes. And it's like a lot of extra expense, that's coming out of their pocket. So they may be wanting to make some extra money for these things that their kids are wanting to do or the next chapter in their life, whatever that might be. The other thing is a lot of people are wanting they're busy. So they're wanting to have these meals organized for them and figured out because they are running their kids to dance class and soccer and, all over the place for different events. So they definitely want to have their meals planned out for them. So this is a great time to even definitely host something at your own house and just invite people to come over hey, back to school freezer meal workshop. Let's everybody get your freezer stocked. You can do it with your friends that you invite and get your freezer stocked at the same time. But just kind of get organized that way. So that's another thing. And then people also, in addition to wanting to have those meals organized, they may want to be back on track with eating a little bit healthier. And then also maybe they're trying to get back on a budget to just kind of, refocus and get back on track in general. So we can kind of help them with all of those things, kind of organizing their menu plan for them and all of that. So there's a couple of things. One, our business builder kit is brand new. Everybody knows, starting September 1st, it's now $129. Amy and I talked a little bit before we started the recording about how really honestly, that's nothing to start your own business, $129. With that, I also feel like it might give people a little bit more of a push to kind of get going and make some money and make back the money they invested into their business because they are investing a little bit more than $49.95. So they might get a little bit more serious about their business faster. but it's a great recruiting tool to just say we have this beautiful new kit with all new marketing materials that are so fantastic. You could be one of the first ones to grab that, and we'll go over kind of some of the stuff that comes in the kit in a minute, but I wanted to make sure I cover kind of everything I had put on my notes here. So basically, the next thing I wanted to say is, so book your calendar strong, because I'm telling you what, if you can book a strong September calendar, as strong as as full as you want it to be, that's going to just lead you through this whole fall season and then really set you up for January, which is our #1 month in the year. Like crazy, crazy, crazy is January. So you can make a ton of money in January. You can really, that's the last month for our trip earning period. So if you're on the verge and you're close, really a lot of people can earn the trip between now and the end of January, because this is the bulk of when our business takes place. So keep that in mind. Just kind of set up your goals. Talk to your upline about what are your vision, or what is your vision? What are your goals for the fall and winter and into the new year? What does that look like for you? And then we're really excited that we have the new income track, so we can actually we can pick the income track that you want and help you with those step-by-step actions that need to take place on a daily or weekly basis, so that you can fit those action steps into your plan and or into your schedule, and so you can reach your goals. Something else that I like to tell people too is when you're just getting started, or even if I know for you, Amy, you said you have you're starting school tomorrow and I know you're crazy busy with kids, and then your husband's hunting, so then that's like a hunting widow. Like I have one of those too. But my kids aren't little anymore, so it's a little easier. But I think a really great thing to do is take a calendar out, fill it in with all the things you cannot or will not change in the month, and then look at where your pockets of time actually exist. Because I feel like we all feel like, oh my gosh, I'm so busy, I'm crazy, I'm spinning, and we are. But I think when we actually put it on a piece of paper, there are some pockets of time that exist that make sense, and then it really makes it easier to make a plan and say, okay, it looks like this day actually isn't as bad as I thought, and maybe that would be a day that I could do parties, or even every other week or something like that. And then maybe on the opposite week, that's the time that I'm going to spend really buckling down to just contact a bunch of people. Because sometimes people don't have that daily chunk of time to do those, what we're calling now CSFs, the critical success factors, which are making your contacts each day and tracking your progress, so that we can help you fix whatever isn't working if you want things to propel forward. Sometimes, people have to kind of bulk that into hey, I'm just going to crank it out in 1 or 2 days. Or that's going to be what I do on Saturday mornings while I'm having my coffee, is I'm going to just make 40 contacts on Saturday mornings, and then I'm going to follow up with them, or I'll hear back from them or whatever, versus I'm going to do 10 calls a day at this time every single day. It just sort of needs to work for you. And so whatever you guys can do, and even if that means starting out with 10 contacts a week, because that's what's working for you right now, as long as it's matching, as long as the action steps match up with the goals that you're trying to reach, then that's great, and if you're not getting the results, then we can reevaluate based on what actions are taking place. But using that goal card and tracking really makes a difference, because then we can all just be able to look at it and say, okay, this might be why you're not getting the bookings, or this might be why you're not getting the recruits. Like, how many conversations are you having? That type of thing. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk about for people who are brand new, and even if you're not brand new and you want a little refresher, what we're doing now, and for my team, I'm revamping my welcome email that is going to be sent out to brand new team members. So I'll be posting that on our Team Awesome page, so that you're welcome to just take that, edit it with your name, and just use it, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. And it's basically copied from Sonara. So it's just going to be really simple. It's like, welcome to our team. Here's a few getting started steps. And then it directs them to, so it's going to talk about the fast start. It's going to talk about the free shipping voucher. And then really about them thinking about their why, which I encourage everybody to do. I feel like it's always great to even just do it on Sunday night or Monday morning, whatever works for you, to just really think about, okay, why am I doing this? What are my goals? And kind of get clear on that, because then all of a sudden, when you're doing the work, it makes sense, and you feel like you're working towards something if you know why you're doing it. So whatever that looks like for you, kind of just get clear on your vision and your why, and then go to Sonara's training website. If you haven't been there yet, I encourage you to do that. Like I'm trying to go through myself, like each step, and watch all of the videos too, so that I know what's being said on there, but also so I know what my new team members are going to be watching, and that way it'll help me help them, you know, because I'll know what to expect as far as what they've seen and heard. So you just go to trainingwithsanara.com. The password is success, all lowercase letters. And you just literally, you start, I think you click on getting started first, and then you click on module 1. And you just go step by step through the different modules. Module 1 is where you're going to see, it's going to talk about your why. There's a couple little clips of videos of Sanara and another director at Wild Tree talking. And then basically just to really get clear on your vision or your why with your business. And then the next thing that you go over is your income tracks. And that's something that's brand new just since she released this training website. We never had in the past. But what's really cool about the income tracks is that you can pick the income that you want to be making, and then it tells you the action steps that you have to do in order to be making that income. So I think it starts with like $680 is the first dollar amount, and then it goes on up to like over $10,000 a month or whatever. So basically, you know, if you're already at one track, I guess they call it, they have like the green track, silver track, platinum track, all these different ones, and you're not happy with that income, maybe you want a little raise, then you can look at the next step and see what those action steps are that you have to take in order to make that. And it's all based on statistics, so it's really accurate. It's like, it's all a numbers game really when it boils down to it. So so that's really huge. And whether you're brand new or you are just you know, at a different place in your life or your business or whatever it is, take a look at that, and that will really give you some clarity. And I feel like you'll actually feel really relieved a little bit to know that it's really not a crazy amount of work that has to be done to make a significant income in this business. So it's just really delegating and being consistent and making sure that happens each week. And then the results will definitely follow. So if you are brand new or haven't gone through Sanara's trainingwithsanara.com website, I would encourage you to just do that when you have a little spare time after you've done your CSS. Of course, that's more important. But yeah, and if you're brand new, definitely start there and just walk through the modules, and it'll help you with all the way to creating your list of people to contact, booking parties, words to use when you're trying to book parties. There's a lot of great resources on there. So make sure to take advantage of that. The other thing is we're really encouraging people to use the Media Resource Center, which is in your back office, as more of like a library. So let's say you're looking for the one-stop crock recipes. You can just type in the search bar one-stop crock recipes, and that will you'll be able to pull that up. There's different parts in Sanara's training website that walk you or that have like a link that you can click on that actually takes you into the MRC to like your first 35 days of Facebook posts. That was something new that was released at conference, which is so great with our new marketing team. So all of the images and all of the wording and everything is figured out for you. All you have to do is copy and paste that to your Facebook page. So there are definitely some great resources within the Media Resource Center. It's just a little bit hard to follow for a lot of people when you're brand new. It doesn't seem to be really like streamlined. It's like you can go here, you can go there, you can go whatever, and people just get overwhelmed. So if you just use that as more of like a library resource where you just search for what you're searching for, and then follow Sanara's training for your step-by-step training to get started, I feel like you'll have a lot more success out of the gate and a lot less frustration of trying to find things. So lastly, for September, make sure that you print your September Make Fresh flyer for the new bundle and recipes. This is the back to school kit with a free Chipotle ranch seasoning. The recipes look delicious. So kind of a totally different twist from the burgers last month. So I think that's super fun. And yeah, so I told you guys I would go back to the business builder kit. I'm going to just briefly, I don't have a list in front of me, but I'm going to try to remember what exactly goes in it. And then we should have plenty of time if anybody has questions. So in the new kit, it's a lot more about business building tools. and not so much about tons and tons of products, but still giving you what you need to start your business. So in the little, did you figure that out, Amy? Sorry, you guys are on mute. I'll unmute. Let's see here. I'll just unmute you guys, and then if you need to remute, you can. But did you see, I think, okay. So
yeah, I did. And I watched the video and it answered my questions. They didn't have the business supplies site updated until today, or when I looked at it today, but when I went to order last week, it didn't give you a quantity, but I got it figured out. So.
Oh, cool. Okay. I know. I'm super excited. It's like, I need to put that on my list right now, business aids. So I don't forget, or business supplies. I need to do an order. Okay. So in the new business builder kit, actually, I'm going to post the video to all of the team Facebook group pages because I think video is fantastic. I wish we would have had a video for our old kit. I just think it's so easy to just like send that to somebody. Here's what you get in the business builder kit when they ask. You know, it's so great. But I love those little party packs. It looked to me, she didn't specifically go through each little tiny item. Like she didn't spend a lot of time on each individual item, but I could kind of see in the picture where it looks like they've got recipe cards that go with the sample packs that go into the cute little hostess packet. So they can choose, do you want to do a Mexican theme or Italian theme? But what is so great about that is you have a brand new rep who's just right out of the gate and trying to get parties booked and this and that. There's no guesswork in like, what am I going to make at that party? Like, here you go. Here's a Mexican packet. Same for us with our bookings. Just hand them that envelope. Do you want to do Mexican or Italian? Here you go. Take it home. They make it. It makes our job super easy. It's really pretty and appealing, you know, to them too. So I think that's fantastic. I know there's like a table tent that says make fresh, make fast, make ahead to be able to have on display. I think maybe even one that just says Wild Tree. It kind of looked like, I'm not positive about that. But we've got, you know, we talked about this, I think, a few calls ago, but it's really cool how there's like a quick start guide to get your business started. So I'm really excited to see what that looks like. I know Zanara made her own separate website, so we'll kind of have to see if that's where that's leading people and what kind of training. But I know that Wild Tree is in the works of revamping their onboarding, so I'm sure that this is going to lead them in that type of a direction, which is really nice because people like to have I like to have a really simple step-by-step, just do this, 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 this. I don't want to have like 20 pages on each step that I need to take necessarily when I'm getting started. So this quick start is kind of like when you get your DVD player, you know, you buy a new DVD player, you can follow the quick start guide, or then you have the manual that comes along with it too, that's more detailed on everything and like troubleshooting. So we kind of have both of those in our business builder kit. So you have the quick start guide just to follow, do this first, then this, then this, then this. But then we've got the manual that is like the more in-depth questions, or maybe, you know, they're having a problem with this or they have a question about that, and they'll be able to find the answers there, which is super awesome. And then you get those full-size products, which still gives you some nice, you know, a couple things to put out at your dipping bar for getting started. That's totally fine. But like we had our leader call this morning, and Mandy was mentioning, you know, this is a great opportunity to also encourage them to use their free shipping voucher to pick up some things to kind of customize their kit and what would they like to have shown at their parties, you know, or have in their dipping bar or whatever. So they can take advantage of that free shipping voucher if they want to sort of supplement their starter kit. Gosh, I know there's a lot more in there. Oh, there's recruiting brochures. There's, I'm sure there's like booking little brochures to hand out when you book a party that are all, everything's just new and fresh and fun. You know, they've got all these new fonts and colors, and it's just kind of more bright and sort of exciting. So I think that's really great. Do you guys have any, do you want to add anything to that or have questions about anything? How are you guys feeling about the $129 price for the kit?
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
There's a lot of products in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it's going to make us more branded too, so that instead of this rep handing out this hodgepodge of samples, and this rep brings her own samples to the party, and this rep makes the food at the party. I mean, it's like I've done all of those things since I've started, and I feel like this is just going to look more professional and put together so that it's like, oh, if you host a Wild Tree party, kind of like, you know, if you go to Starbucks, you're going to get exactly the same coffee, whether you're in Spokane or Seattle or Montana or, you know, California, wherever you are. I feel like that's kind of a really like professional aspect of that. Like I like that because it's like I know I'm going to get a good coffee, but if I go to like a random coffee stand, who knows what it's going to taste like, you know? So I think with all of this, it's just going to make all of the reps sort of like when you're hosting a Wild Tree party, yeah, you're still going to have that individualness of like your individual rep that's helping you and their personality and their customer service that keeps you separate. But as far as them having like just that nice consistent experience of a Wild Tree party, like, oh, it, like if the friend said, oh yeah, I hosted one of those once, it's super great. They just hand you this packet, you put these things together, you get these nice recipe cards. It's super fun, it's super easy, then everybody's going to be doing the same thing. So I feel like that's going to be a benefit to all of us. Also, definitely training your new reps is just going to be, it's going to be so much easier because now we finally have some really good systems, which is going to help. Any other thoughts or questions, you guys? Okay. Well, I know that Jacqueline is super excited to recognize everybody for working so hard on her team too. They had an amazing August. So be standing by for her to do that. And I'll be posting some more recognition on Facebook as well. But next week, we're going to talk about hostess coaching because really, once you have your bookings, the next most important thing you can spend your time doing is coaching your hostesses. And if you think about it this way, it's really going to take the same amount of effort and work on your part if you are in front of 4 people or 12 people at the party. Maybe a little bit of extra time in filling out order forms, which is great because you're making more money. But really, ultimately, you're going to do the same demo. You're going to do almost all of the same stuff. You're going to be gone from your house for about the same amount of time, but you would be making, 3 times as much money. And more importantly, you'd be in front of 3 times as many people for the same amount of time that you're spending doing your business. So having really successful parties and getting that attendance there is super crucial. So we're going to be talking about that next week on the call, but always feel free to reach out to us with any questions or anything. And if you're wanting to schedule like individual coaching with Jacqueline or I, we're both doing that for our teams. So if that's something that you're interested in, just reach out to us and we'll find a time and day that works for you guys. But thank you for being on live, girls.
Thank you.
Have a great week and a great September. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.